Hey all, it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy, and today I'm just going to do a regular, ordinary day vlog here on the homestead. It's the middle of summer. I have tons of stuff going on, and this year I am busier than ever. Last year I was on the homestead and farm full-time, but this year I'm working on the homestead and the farm full-time, of course, but I also have a bunch of other part-time jobs that take me off the farm and homestead, so I have a lot going on. Plus, some of you know this, that I also do farmers markets and craft shows because I make handmade soaps, and I also do cut flower farming, so I'm a very busy lady. But I wanted to take you through just a daily vlog and kind of show you some of the things that's going on the homestead day to day. Also, I'm gonna have another garden tour out for you very soon. It's kind of been hard lately because we have thunderstorms in the forecast for like the next 2 weeks, and garden tours take a while to film because I have so many gardens and it takes a lot of videoing. So the weather kind of plays a role of when I can actually get the videos out. So garden tour coming to you very soon. I will get one of those out for you all. Alright, I want to show you all, I have something very exciting that has happened on the homestead and I wanted to show you all. So let me go show you. Alright, so this lovely lady here has hatched out some chicks, and she's been keeping them hidden, so I haven't really been able to show you all. So I kind of got her, and I'm hoping that when I put her down, she'll kind of call her chicks out so you can see them. So I'm going to put her down and try to get her to get the chicks out for you. Chick, 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 chicks. Can you all see them? She's keeping them hidden. Oh, there's one. Come on, little babies. Oh, there they are. She has 10. I don't know if she's going to show you all 10 because she's keeping them hidden. There they go. See? They're all coming out now. Hi, Mama. So she hatched 10 little babies, and they're all doing great, and she still has all 10 of them, and they're all starting to get their feathers, so I think they're all doing pretty well. But she's been a good mommy, and she's keeping them hidden. See, she's taking them away, and she's going to go hide them in all the plants. So anyway, that's something that has happened that's really exciting on the homestead. I also have another mama hen. She just hatched some chicks, and she's over with the kitchen garden chickens. And that one hatched 3 little chicks, and then this mama here, of course, I told you she hatched 10. So we have quite a few little baby chicks running around on the homestead now. And then I also added something else new to the homestead. So I'm going to take you over and kind of show you. I'm not going to tell you because I want you to guess, and then I want you all to guess down in the comments what the new thing is that I brought to the homestead. And then later on, when you all guess, then I will do a vlog about it, and then I will show you all, explain to you all, and teach you all about it. So I'm going to go take you over there and give you a hint of what I brought to the homestead. Alright, so I'm standing in front of what I brought to the homestead, and I'm just going to give you all a little peek. So I'm going to move to the side and let you all just see the very top of it and see if any of you can guess. Ready? If any of you can guess what that is, comment below, let me know, and I will be doing a vlog about this very soon. Alright, so another thing I want to update you all on is, remember over the winter when I added Coturnix quail to the Homestead, well, update on them. They are laying eggs now, so we are now getting Coturnix quail eggs, so those are pretty cool. And then I also added some button quail. So if you all haven't seen button quail, they are smaller than the Coturnix quail, and their eggs are smaller. So I'll show you a size comparison. Coturnix quail, button quail, and then a chicken egg is double the size of a Coturnix quail egg. So sometime I'll show you the size comparison between a chicken egg, a Coturnix quail egg, and a button quail egg, because I think that would be pretty cool for you all to see. But I think quail eggs are just so beautiful. But I wanted to give you all an update on that, because I'm sure you all were kind of wondering about the quail, because they're pretty cool. And like I said, you know, even if you live, you know, somewhere where you don't have a lot of land, like in town or in the city, you can still have Coturnix quail, because they're not noisy like a chicken. And, you know, you're going to get a really quick turnaround time on them. You know, at 8 weeks, they're full grown, you know, they're ready to start laying eggs, reproducing. So that's a really quick turnaround time if you want to start homesteading in a small space. Alright all, there's your little quail update. A few more things that I want to show you. Alright all, I am inside in the homestead kitchen, and as you can see, I have this whole thing of blueberries. So actually, our blueberries didn't do very well this year because we had this thing called gypsy moths in our area. So they actually went after most of the fruit trees and berry bushes, and they ate all the foliage and flowers. So our actual berry bushes did not do well this year. So I had to go to a local blueberry field and pick blueberries this year instead of having them on the homestead. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and some years are good, some years are bad. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But so I have these blueberries and I need to do something with them because I have so many of them. So I want to make blueberry syrup, and I also want to can blueberry jam. So I'm going to show you all how I'm gonna do that. So a lot of times I will look up recipes, but sometimes it's nice to have a good old-fashioned book, because sometimes you're not able to look up stuff, and you never know when you're going to be in the middle of making something, and let's say, you know, the electricity goes out, or your phone or laptop dies, so you cannot look up your recipe. And if you're in the middle of a recipe, that's kind of a big inconvenience. So a lot of times I like to use a good old-fashioned book. So this is one of the books that I use, just regular Ball Home Preserving. And if you look in here, there's so many different recipes, but I actually found the fruit syrup section, and I found blueberry syrup. So I'm going to be following this, but I am a homestead cook, so I don't follow recipes completely. I use recipes as a guideline, but I make recipes for myself, and you know, I know how I like to cook, and I don't completely measure things. Like, I do a pinch of this and a pinch of that, and a lot of times I like to have whole fruit, like, in my recipes, instead of, like, you know, in recipes they just say fruit juice or, you know, things like that. I like to actually have the actual fruit in my recipes, like my jams, and like, I'm not really a fan of jellies because I like to have the actual fruit. I don't know. There's just something about having the actual fruit that makes it feel more homemade. You know what I mean? Just like actually seeing that fruit in there. That's just how I am. But so I am going to be doing this blueberry syrup recipe, but instead of having it be just a regular syrup with just the blueberry juice, I'm going to leave the actual like chunks of blueberries in it, because I think that would be really good. And they say that you can put this on ice cream, you can put this on waffles, and I just think that's going to be really, really good to actually leave chunks of blueberries in it. So I'm going to go ahead and follow this recipe. So I'm going to show you all how I go ahead and make. Alright, so my recipe book says that this recipe makes 3-pint jars. Now when I can. So we're not only making 3 jars of this recipe. I'm going to be probably tripling this or more. So instead of 8 cups of blueberries, we're probably going to do 16, maybe more cups of blueberries. So I'm going to go ahead and measure those out. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is, it says we're going to add water and lemon zest. Alright, so next up in this recipe is the zest of a lemon. So I'm going to zest a lemon, and then also some cups of water. So this says about a tablespoon of lemon zest, so I'm pretty much just going to zest this until I say it's good, because I've been doing a lot of cooking over the years of homesteading, and I just kind of know. When I look at something, I'm like, yep, that's that amount. And that just comes with time. And when you do as much bulk cooking as I've done on a homestead, you just kind of learn to get a visual eye for that, because you make big batches, so you just kind of learn to know what things look like when you do them. Alright, so that looks like our zest of a lemon. And then we doubled this, so instead of 2 cups of water, we're going to do 4 cups of water. So I already added 2 cups, so we're going to add the rest of this. Alright, so now we're just going to heat this up. Alright, so it says to heat this up on medium heat and to gently bring to a boil. And then it says to, I believe, boil gently for 5 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get this heated up, and then we are going to boil gently for 5 minutes. Alright, also I heated this up to a medium boil for 5 minutes. I turned the heat down, and then we are supposed to add brown sugar. So it calls for 3 cups for the regular recipe, which I'm doubling this to get more of a canning yield. So instead of doubling, I'm going to cut out 1 cup of sugar. So it calls for 3, so instead of doubling to 6, I'm only going to do 5, because I don't like recipes super sugary. And I really feel like I don't need that extra cup of sugar in there. So it's going to be sweet. Blueberries are sweet, and I just feel like we don't need that extra cup of sugar in this recipe for it to turn out. Now, I have been doing these kinds of recipes for years. I've been canning jam. I've been, I know when I can cut things out and when I can add things, and I know when things are going to work and when things are not going to work. So if you're not used to cooking like this, I don't recommend adding or cutting things out unless you know for sure if it's going to work. But in my case, I've been cooking like this for years, so I know that this is going to work out. So we added our water, we added our brown sugar. So now we have to heat this up to 230 degrees, and then we are going to heat it up to another boil. So once I get this up to another boil, then I will show you when I start canning this and putting them in the canner. Alright, so now that we have boiled this, so we brought it up to the 230 degrees, we boiled it for 5 minutes, and now I transfer this onto a different burner so that it could cool down. And now I'm adding 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then after I get this all mixed in, then I'm going to start ladling the blueberry syrup into the jars. Alright, so ahead of time I cleaned and sanitized my jars, so now I'm going to start ladling. Don't forget to use your funnel for your jars so you don't get them super messy. Now when I fill these, I don't fill these all the way to the top because you want to leave room on top so that your jars will seal properly, and so that when they're going through the canning process that they have enough airspace at the top. So I usually just fill these just below the rims of the jars. Just like so. Alright, so it's very important to remember to wipe off the rim of your jar before putting the lid on. So you want to make sure that the rim is nice and clean so that you get a good seal. So after that, you will be taking one of your lids that you boiled in hot water to clean and sanitize. You will put that on top of your jar. Then you will put the band on it. Finger tight. Alright, so I ended up with 7 jars of blueberry syrup, and I kind of figured that I would get more than I was thinking. And I actually have pints and quarts, and I figured that I would be getting a little bit more than what they were recommending that it made, because with that other recipe, they were thinking that you were just having it as a syrup and you weren't going to have any bits of fruit in it, which I left the fruit in, so I figured I would get more bulk, so more yield. So I figured that I would be getting more. So 7 jars, pints and quarts. Alright, I'm going to put them in the water bath canner. Alright, so I just finished filling up my canner the rest of the way with water. So when you fill up your canner with water, you want to make sure that you have at least an inch of water over your jars. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this boiling all the way so that we can get the canning process going. And this says that we are going to process in the canner for 10 minutes. Alright, we are all done making the syrup. So this has processed for the amount of time that it needs. So now it's time to take these out of the canner and label them. This is still very hot, so make sure you use the oven mitt. Now if this is done correctly and they seal correctly, you will start hearing the ping noise of the lids sealing up. So if you listen closely, you might be able to start hearing that. Now also, over here I've started my blueberry jam. So I have that going. The best way to use your time when you're canning is you start one batch of something, and then while that's processing, then you go ahead and start another thing. So when this batch is done, then you can put the next batch, get it jarred up, and then put that in the canner, and then you're getting everything done all at once, and then you don't have to spend more time in the kitchen than you need. Alright, also while I'm waiting for those jars to cool so that I can label them, I am working on my jam. So this is approximately 8 cups of blueberries, a zest of a lemon, and 4 tablespoons of lime juice. So this is going to be a blueberry lemon lime jam. This has 1 box of pectin, and this is a low sugar recipe, so it only has 3 cups of brown sugar in here, instead of most recipes call for like 9 cups of sugar, which I absolutely do not do that because I believe that fruit has natural sugars in it, so why add all of that sugar when it's already naturally sweet? So I only add enough to thicken up to actually make it jam. I actually don't want to have super sweet jam because you already have your fruit that's naturally sweet. So I am getting this to a boil for 1 minute. So I've already combined everything and it's already turning into jam. So now this just has to boil for 1 minute, and I'm going to be putting this into jars, and then it will be going into the water bath. Alright, my jam is all done. I need to start putting it in jars and get it into the water bath canner. Also, the blueberry syrup turned out great. Also, the jars are starting to make their noise of the lid sealing, so that means that this was a success. Alright, I need to hurry up and get this done. The sun is starting to set, which means I need to go do night chores and make sure that all the critters are put away for the evening and everyone's all safe. Also, a few weeks ago we had some owls come after some of the ducks, so that was not good. So making sure that everyone is all safely put away for the night. I have to go water gardens and greenhouses. It's way too dark out there for me to take you with me, but thanks for coming on this little homestead day with me and just seeing all the things, canning, and spending the day with me. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Good night. Good night.